26 June 2020. This is going to be a collage of pretender clown numpty dipshits. Leading off the pack is Bryan Peck, the peckerless, pecker-headed peckerwood, a self-professed internal medicine doc.
Science is not determining cause and effect. Science is the process by which you determine relationships. It doesn't have to be entirely causal. And you can build correlations. Correlations often are good enough. You do not have, it is not something to where you say, oh, X always does Y. That's not the way science works. Stop with that nonsense.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. You're moving into a land of
bullshittery.
You've just crossed over into
the numpty zone. So, Peckerhead says, science is not cause and effect. Then he says, science doesn't have to be entirely causal. Number 1, law of non-contradiction violation, Peckerhead. And number 2, science is entirely and solely cause and effect. You want to know why? It's based on experiment and experiment alone. And before you have an experiment, you have to have a hypothesis. From Nature.com, Sean Carroll arguing in the edge that hypotheses aren't simply useful tools in some potentially outmoded vision of science. They are the whole point. From Lowell C., becoming a successful scientist, Cambridge University, a scientific hypothesis is based on cause and effect reasoning.
Uh-oh!
A scientific hypothesis does not merely state X and Y may be related, but explains why they are related. We'll get back to that one here shortly. From Drexel University, the scientific method is hypothesis-driven. One makes an educated guess to explain a cause and effect relationship.
Uh-oh!
From Chemistry About, Anne-Marie Helmstein, PhD, Biomedical Sciences, a hypothesis is an educated guess based on observation. It's a prediction of cause and effect.
Fatality.
Next, from Bryan Peckerwood, the Peckerhead, correlations are good enough.
Are you high right now?
From Cornell University, epidemiological studies can never prove causation. That is, it cannot prove that a specific risk factor actually causes the disease being studied. Epidemiological evidence can only show that this risk factor is correlated with a higher incidence of disease in the population exposed to that risk factor. The higher the correlation, the more certain the association. But it cannot prove causation. And finally, from the peckerless, peckerwooded peckerhead, says, science is not X always does Y. Stop with that nonsense. Priceless, man. Thank you. Literally. You literally stepped into a friggin' dumpster fire. Again, from Lowell C., becoming a successful scientist, Cambridge University, a scientific hypothesis is based on cause and effect reasoning. A scientific hypothesis does not merely state X and Y may be related, but explains why they are related. So, Peckerless, you'd fail 5th grade general science. And by the way, on a personal note, I pine for the day I catch your dumb ass outside one of your echo chambers, son. I'm gonna get medieval on your dumb ass. Late retarded edition.
You don't necessarily have to observe a natural phenomenon. You can start with a hypothesis.
You can start with a hypothesis? Really? Where'd you get the dependent variable from? Your imagination, numpty. From the University of Rochester Physics Labs, the scientific method has 4 steps. Step number 1, observation and description of a phenomena or group of phenomena.
Jimmy is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes.
Peckerhead.
Down goes.
Peckerhead. From McClellan-Christen, The Nature of Science and the Scientific Method, the first process in the scientific method involves the observation of a phenomenon. You, sir, are the epitome of a Dunning-Kruger numpty dipshit. Thanks.
Gases moving freely in all directions is an assumption of the ideal gas law, in which we know that not all gases are ideal.
What the hell did you just say?
Gases moving freely in all directions is an assumption of the ideal gas law, in which we know that not all gases are ideal.
You serious?
Yep, he is.
Look here, you big dummy.
From MIT, Brownian motion. Real gas molecules move in all directions, not just to neighbors on a chessboard.
Jimmy is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes.
Peckerhead.
Down goes.
Peckerhead.
Hey! Hello. It's for you. Yeah?
You've just been erased.